All right. This is the first ever episode of a podcast that we like to call Still Fucking Up, dude.
There it is.
My name is Aaron. Some people call me Lego. Some people call me Legs. Some people call me Space Cowboy. This guy over here, this brown bitch of a man.
Yep, this one right here.
This is Juan Damien Crucifix Plate. Real name Juan, actually.
Yep.
Mr. Juan Luis. Motherfucking sombreros, bitch.
That's fucking me.
That's him, dude. And so we are here, finally. It's been a long time coming to get all the shit, all of our ducks in a row to fucking get a podcast up and running, dude. How do you feel, Juan? Do you feel good about it, dude?
I feel fucking great. Our ducks are in a line now, bro.
Dude, they look good, too.
Yeah, they're
fucking hot-ass ducks.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in formation, bro. We're good.
Our dicks are in a row.
Yeah.
I meant to say dicks.
Yeah, dicks.
Our dicks are just tip to tip. Docking. Foreskin is pulled over, dude.
Yep.
Docking has commenced. And we are here. So we're going to be fucking going over a lot of different shit.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be like the fucking, it's like the people in the showbiz area of podcasting. These fucking people have a weird idea because of social media mainly that the public, like fans of comedy especially, are a bunch of fucking pussy bitches. They think we're a bunch of fucking crying pussy fucking just male feminist cuck fucks. And I'm not a fan because I listen to all these podcasts and I love them, okay? And to hear them be like talking about all these shitheads and they think that that's all people. All fans of comedy are fucking douchebags. And it's not the case. Because
Nope.
I've talked to a lot of people. I've met a lot of people that like comedy, like podcasts. And a lot of them think the way that I think. I don't fucking comment on any of that shit. You blowing the mic, dude?
I'm sorry.
Psh, whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So we're here basically to just give our piece, you know? We're not anybody special, but you know, we have an accumulated knowledge over the I'm 33, this dude right here is 26. We have a lot of accumulated knowledge over these years. So it's not like we're just fucking babies up in here.
No.
We've lived a fucking life, bro. We were both addicted to drugs. Not so much alcohol.
No.
But heroin.
Meth?
Yeah. Mainly meth heroin a lot for you, but
yeah.
A lot of meth. He was more known as like a tweaker, the type of guy to pop out from behind a bush at a Motel 6, you know what I mean?
And that's a true story?
And that's a true story, and that's why I say he is like that guy, because he is that fucking guy. It's crazy to, when you see a guy pop out of a bush, like, and you're not the person in the car waiting for the guy to come out from behind the bush into your car, and you just see that guy, you never really think about what his life is like, and I got to dive into that world, so it's it's pretty fucking interesting. So for today, we didn't prepare too much. This was kind of on a fucking whim. I just got back from Vegas and picked this dude up. Decided, let's just fucking throw one up. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know how long we're going. We don't know what we're talking about. We're just fucking off the cuff, dude. We're riffing.
It could be anything. Absolutely anything.
Especially buttholes.
Yep.
Pretty big deal. So we're just gonna give our take on shit. Not saying anybody has to give a shit or listen, but hey, you might get some chuckles, you might get some knowledge, you might get offended, you know.
You might get hard.
You might get hard. Really, that's all we're here for, dude. If we can get at least one dick hard, we've done our fucking job, you know? So, Juan was asking me before we started this about Pizzagate. Because I guess what you've heard, what you just recently heard about this?
There's just been a bunch of shit popping up online, and I haven't gone online and researched it like I should have, but
Well, because Pizzagate was in 2016. So that's the thing. It's 4 years old.
Okay.
So I was like, that's pretty weird that you're bringing up Pizzagate right now, but all right, whatever. So basically, Pizzagate is the idea about the whole WikiLeaks thing and Hillary Clinton's emails and there being codes in her emails. And then that's basically the main part of it. They claim that the emails contain coded messages that connected several high-ranking Democratic Party officials and U.S. restaurants, weirdly enough, with human trafficking and child sex ring. That's
what I was getting down to. That's what I figured it was. But
that's the thing. I guess it says online that it's debunked, but that's coming from Wikipedia. So it's not like 100%. You know what I mean? Of course, the alt-right are going to be the ones that want to further and spread that conspiracy theory because it's about Hillary Clinton. And I swear to God, I mean, I would say they need to never have Hillary Clinton run again, which they don't. She's horrible. She's very, very unlikable. But Joe Biden, I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, he's a fucking tard and a half. Like, he's almost 80, and he's very deep in dementia. If you hear his stories. I sent you the pop... What was it? Corn Pop.
Yeah, Corn Pop.
The Corn Pop story. So, the Corn Pop story is insane. He says something about black kids in the community pool coming up and, like, rubbing his leg hairs, and that some guy named Corn Pop was, like, one of those switchblade having greaser types. And I was like, what fucking weird, shitty movie is this from? Because he seems like the type of guy that, first of all, he doesn't answer the question that he's asked. He just goes off and then picks an obviously fake or made up story or a story that's from a movie, and he just uses that as his answer. And then people are just like, let's just move on because I seriously don't want to. I feel embarrassed to tell him.
You're fucking insane.
Yeah, that he's so stupid that he did not answer the question. Plus, on top of that, there's the 8. There's that Karasek girl who was the young one that he did the whole pressing his forehead against her thing.
Yeah.
Which is, creepy activities. So yeah, basically, all of it's nonsense. It's all terrible. There's no good choices. We're both felons. We can't even vote. So I'm like, this is this is white privilege right here. And if you couldn't tell by Juan's name, he's not a white guy.
No, I'm not.
He's a Mexican man. And, but he's experiencing white privilege through having a felony as well.
Yeah.
And it feels nice. So I get it. You know what I mean? I get it for once. I feel like, because I spent a lot of time in jail, I've never had preferential treatment by a police officer or any kind of authority figure at all. I've always been pretty much shat upon up until that point of getting off of felony probation. But it's cool to be able to say to people, oh, I don't vote because I'm a felon and I can't. Because that they're about to open their mouth and go, if Trump wins, it's your fault. Fuck you. No, it's not, because the popular vote doesn't matter.
There's like millions of felons.
Of course.
In fucking the United States.
There's millions of felons. Most of them wouldn't vote anyway.
I really don't give a fuck to vote, even if I could. I'm not going to lie.
But it's literally out in the open, a known thing that your vote goes in the fucking garbage. The popular vote is not what makes you win. Like every president in the past, besides Obama, I think he won the popular vote and the electoral college vote. You can win 100% of the popular vote and not be the fucking president. So like, yeah, the country loves me, but the electoral colleges said, fuck you. You're not the president now, bitch. And then that's it.
The popular vote.
The popular vote is the one that all these people go to the polls, place their vote. That goes to the popular vote. But the electoral colleges is like a certain group of people, and like it has something to do with the delegates. There's super delegates, like certain states, depending on their population, have a certain amount of the number of their electoral colleges, like. And then their swing states are the biggest ones because they're not red or blue states. They've switched back and forth, or they're half and half, like Ohio, Florida, I think Iowa too. So there's things like that. None of it comes from average fucking people. So it doesn't matter that we can't fucking vote. But the other big thing, remember yesterday when we were getting off of work and I played that video that was talking about Bryan Callen.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and they read the report saying that Bryan Callen raped an old friend of his. This was in 1999.
Oh, so here we go. They're bringing up bullshit.
From 1999. So 1999 is 21 years ago. You get that?
Yeah,
that's a full person that can drink time ago.
I was 5.
It's crazy. And the weird thing is, it's all Joe Rogan's friends getting allegations. Brendan Schaub's had allegations. Theo Vaughn's had allegations. Bryan Callen's had the first one with a rape allegation. This must just be a super ballsy girl. I've read the shit, and it seems weird. I mean, obviously, it's hard to picture him try to rape somebody. He's a small guy. He's not a big dude.
Yeah.
And especially in 99, 21 years ago, he would have been...
It's the first 30, thing that pops up.
He would have been 31. And of course. And it's just like the D'Elia stuff never said anything about rape. It was all about underage girls. You know what I mean? But what kind of a... Chris D'Elia was 38. And he liked to talk to girls that were 19 to 25, I think, is the ages that he was talking to. That's not weird. 38... I mean, 20 years, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
You're 20 years older than an 18-year-old at that age. That's a lot. But Anna Nicole Smith was in her 20s and her husband was in his 90s. And so no one was like, hey, that guy's disgusting. Well, I mean, some people, he's old, so he was gross. But no one was like, oh, he's a fucking pedophile. Because that's a 70-year difference. Literally, he's old enough to be her great-grandfather, and he's putting his old, wrinkly wiener in her body when she was in her 20s. So, to me, it's not that horrendous. 19-year-old girls are attractive.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a line drawn at 18 for a reason, right? Why else is it there? Besides that they say... that a person's brain is developed enough to be an adult and make adult choices by the age of 18, which probably isn't true, but the line's there. You can't just change it because Chris D'Elia was making too much fucking money, and then these girls who were failed comics threw him under the bus saying, oh, when I was 16, blah, 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 but they never produced one bit of fucking proof. They said all these things about sending him pictures. They said all these things about him asking for pictures. None of it ever came out. Chris D'Elia released all of his shit, exonerated him, proved his fucking innocence. Still, no management, no podcast, demonetization. He's still a social pariah. He's a fucking monster. So then, Bryan Callen. Bryan Callen was one of the people that threw him under the bus, along with Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub fucking cried. I'm just mad at him. What the fuck? It just came out. You didn't even call him and go, hey, dude, I'm just giving you a heads up. You know what's going on. Is it true? Because, if I stand up for you, dude, it could be my fucking ass if it comes out, you know?
I would hope if some shit like that came up about me, and I would just hope that you would come to me first.
Exactly.
And ask me.
Especially someone like Bryan Callen, who's known Chris for so long. Bryan Callen at least did say, I have known him for this long, and I've never known him to talk to any women underage. He's been a ladies' man forever, but And there was a video of a girl who was a waitress at comedy clubs. She was a GM at a couple comedy clubs as well. She said she's known Chris for a long, long time through the business, and that she would see girls come up to him after shows, and these are 21 and over shows, and the IDs are checked at the doors, and these girls are coming up to Chris like throwing themselves, like, "Hey, let me fucking blow you."
So wait, this just came up on the 31st, right?
The Bryan Callen shit? Yeah.
It's just Friday.
This just happened, yeah.
Yeah.
It just came out yesterday, but it's from 1999. And I think it has to do with they're trying to take down Joe Rogan's friends because they want Joe Rogan. Soon as $100 million was said, the social justice warriors were like, nope, we don't like what he does. We need to destroy him. We need to make sure he can't feed his children. That's the kind of cunts these fucking cancel culture toting fucks are. Dude, I hate them so fucking much. It's comedy.
Yeah.
It's made to make people feel good. All comedy is offensive to somebody. If you couldn't offend anything, you couldn't make jokes. Even if you made jokes about monkeys and tigers, people would make it about race, or they would say, no, you can't talk about tigers. This type of tiger is endangered.
Yeah.
Like they speak fucking English or whatever language you're doing your special in. I can't understand a person who takes offense to, as if you know this comedian and they're like, you know that guy Jim? Yeah, he's a fucking bitch. It's not like they're doing that. They're making a very vague generalization when there's 11 billion people on Earth, and their job is to say shit that would be shocking or offensive, because what else are you going to do?
That's what I was just going to say. A lot of comedy that I listen to, it's not what people usually fucking hear. Like, they fucking get... It's offensive humor, like, a lot of it. And it's hilarious.
And 98%. There's a couple big comedians that aren't dirty, like Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan's a real big one, Gary Gulman. There's a few. And they're good, but still, even that clean, that squeaky clean bubblegum comedy is still offensive to people because they still have to make a joke about something. They can't just, even if they rip on themselves completely, someone will identify with that person and then take it personally. And it's horse shit. It's made to make people feel good. So if it offends you, pretend you're a fucking martyr. You're like Jesus. I'm sacrificing my happiness for the greater good of the rest of the world. Don't be a fucking kike bitch and go on social media and especially make something up. That girl, whatever her fucking cunt name is, that said the shit about Chris D'Elia is a fucking liar. Yeah. She needs to go to jail. She tried to ruin somebody's life. He just had a child, a baby, and she accused him of being a child molester. And now they're like, well, he was grooming 18, 19-year-old women. So what? So what about all the stories that you hear about Mitzi Shore, Pauly Shore's mom? She was forcing comics to bang her for stage time. And, oh, God, for Joey Diaz, he wasn't a manager. Why would you blow him for stage time, you dumb bitch? That's not going to do anything for you because he doesn't own it. He doesn't run it. He's a fucking comic. So, and that's another thing about Bryan Callen that they said, that he made girls blow him. You know what you can do if someone's like, hey, if you blow me, you'll get stage time. Nah, I'm good. I'm a good enough comic that I'll get up without blowing you. Thanks, though. You could have done that. You didn't have to go, nom, 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 nom. Can I get some stage time now? For 5 minutes of stage time to bomb horribly?
So yeah, let me get this straight with the whole fucking Bryan Callen shit. It's saying that this chick, Catherine Fiore...
Zeta Jones, yes.
Yeah.
Catherine Fiore, Tigerman.
Yeah. Saying that he held her down and forced her to have sex with him, even though she told him to stop.
Okay, yeah. So they had known each other for a long time, and from what she was saying, I guess it was, he was telling her, there's there's sexual frustration. That's I think the word she used, sexual frustration between us, and we need to just get it out of the way, and then you're gonna be my girlfriend. What person besides somebody with severe autism talks like that? Bryan Callen is a very, very, very bright, intelligent man. Okay, I've listened to him talk for hours. I've never heard him say, like, because the words are not sexual. There's not sexual frustration between us. I can't think of it right now. I'm literally having a fucking brain fart. Of course, at this exact moment when I need that word, can't find it.
Nope.
But he wouldn't say that, and then to go, then you're going to be my girlfriend. What is this? Was he in middle school?
Yeah, he's
in 1999?
8th grader.
And he's 52 now. So he'd have been 31. That's 2 years younger than me. And I've never once said anything near that's fucking gay and stupid. So why the fuck would he say that if he's... At that point, he was already a fairly famous stand-up comic. So he could have got... I'm sure he could have... Plus, he was fucking married. He was fucking married. And she... what didn't she say at one point that for 4 years on and off they had a... they had a fucking affair. In the years since, 3 women claimed the Goldberg's actor continued to be verbally and physically aggressive. And an American Apparel saleswoman, 11 years ago, Callen pinned her against a wall of a fitting room against her will and began to kiss her. Okay, so now we got a guy who in 2009 was pretty famous. The Goldbergs was a big fucking show, right? You've heard of it?
Yes, of course.
So... let's just say Brad Pitt. Let's just say Brad Pitt in 2009. He was fucking huge in 2009. Okay? So Brad Pitt in 2009 goes into an American Apparel. And then he's like, no one probably knows who I am. And then he's just like, hey, I'm going to try these pants on. And then a girl comes in the men's changing room, which is totally normal, right? Women are always in the men's changing room, and then they go into the rooms with you. Or maybe he was outside of the room, and then he grabs her and then runs and forces her into the fucking fitting room. Just some random woman he just saw. Because, you know, any guy does that. He's like, this girl looks pretty hot. I think I'll take her in the fitting room and start kissing her. And then I'm going to tell her, you're going to be my girlfriend after this.
That sounds so creepy, bro.
It's not only creepy, it's so a thing a girl would think a guy thinks.
Yeah.
A guy doesn't think that. He's going to go, I'm going to come inside your body, and then I'm probably not going to talk to you after this.
Yeah.
He's not like, we're going to cuddle and go on dates. It's going to be, let's go to Olive Garden. No, didn't happen. So he pinned her against a wall of a fitting room. Against her will. Pinned her against a wall, totally consensually, of a fitting room, began to kiss her. Oh, and an aspiring actress who had a 4-year affair with Callen while he was married said he told her in 2016 that women have a biological primal desire to be raped.
What the fuck?
1 year later, a female comedian said he suggested she give him oral sex in exchange for stage time and money. So a year later than 2016, this was in 2017. So at this point, he already had the fighter and the kid. All this shit had already been going on. And then the biological primal desire to be raped, there has been a similar thing said. But he was speaking, she's taking this out of context, because I heard this. He was speaking about girls who have rape fantasies. They fetishize a guy just taking control. Louis C.K. has a joke about it. That this girl, at a random comedy club was like, hey, come to my hotel room because I'm going to fuck ya. So that happens to Louis C.K.'s not a handsome dude. He's just super funny, very talented. Also not a rapist because he said, hey, want to watch me jerk off? And the girl went, okay, which means, yeah. So jerks off, and then she goes, I feel bad. He raped me. Basically, that's what happened. So he made that joke. He said that he went over there and she wasn't into it. It seemed like she wasn't into it. So he's like, hey, I'm going to leave then. Sees her the next night at the comedy club, and he goes, hey, so what happened? She was like, I don't know. I kind of wanted you to just go for it. Just like hold me down and fuck me. And he's like, so I'm supposed to rape you on the off chance you're into that sort of thing? Yeah. Obviously, if that girl wants it, there's at least a few thousand that have that fantasy. I've known one. I knew one personally that liked that. I know two. Jeremy's girlfriend is that way as well. It's a strange
like to
thing.
Get freaky, dude.
I don't even know if it's that. It's a thing. He says that it's a biological primal thing. It's back from caveman days. And Bryan Callen wouldn't just come out and say some dumb, crazy shit like that. It sounds insane.
Yeah, it does.
But he wouldn't come out and say that if he hadn't researched that and learned that. He must have read that in a fucking book. It has to have some kind of basis in truth, and I have to give him the benefit of the doubt on this, because the things that these girls are saying that a guy did, especially at around the age that I am now, there's no fucking way he said those things. Maybe some of those actions did happen. Maybe he went in the room with her and he laid her down on the bed, but she's saying at that point she started saying no over and over again, and he was saying, you're going to like it. No, that's horseshit.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to say, but like women sometimes blow things out of proportion a lot.
And
a lot.
This is also 21 years down the road. How the fuck does she think that her mind hasn't distorted that moment in time? Because there's been tons of scientific proof that your memory is not as reliable as you think it is. A lot of memories that you have, they all change very drastically, especially in 21 years. From 99 to 2020, shit changed in that. So she could have dreamt new shit. She could have thought certain things, and then they built up. And it's basically a pathological thing at that point. She believes that all of those things happened. I believe that she believes most of it. But his memory is most likely quite different. Because if you're doing that sort of thing, unless the dude is literally a legit rapist, if a girl's saying, no, I don't want to do this, you would be like, oh, I don't want to do this then. I'm not going to have sex with somebody who doesn't want this. That's crazy. And he's said all of the things that she says are demonstrably false. And I have to give that to him, because he's provided me with a ton of joy. His stand-up special, Complicated Apes, it's so fucking funny. He's such an intrinsically, viscerally funny dude. He doesn't.
What's that on?
It's on Amazon. You can watch it. You can find it.
Yeah.
If you just Google it, but it's not on Netflix or anything, which is really shitty. So Callen denied all the accounts, and he says, "Let me be very clear. I have never raped, forced myself upon any women, nor offered to trade stage time for sex, ever." And he said, I know the truth, and I can only hold my head up high, remain true to myself, my family, my audience, and know that I will not allow the cancel culture to subvert what I know, and as importantly, what they know is the truth. And, I mean, it's gotta suck. I mean, it really sucks to have somebody come out and say some shit like this and to not know. Like when the shit about Crystalia came out, I was seriously so bummed. But I didn't automatically just go, yeah, he probably did that. I didn't think that because of the way that he is and the way that I've heard other people talk about him. Not even people who necessarily like him, but just people who have seen him, met him, seen him at the Comedy Store and seen what happens with the girls there. All comedians have all said the same thing, that girls just come up to Chris D'Elia all the time and they want to fuck him.
Dude, he could get any fucking woman ever if he really wanted to.
Most likely. He's a good-looking dude. He's buff. He's fucking rich as shit. Good. He's a good actor, and he's hilarious. Yeah. He's got 4 stand-up specials on Netflix. He's fucking huge.
Yeah.
He's got millions of dollars in the bank. So he's gonna ask 16-year-olds for naked pictures. And then they're never gonna be able to prove that he did that. That's weird. And I just, it sucks. It sucks that there's no way to, I mean, there's obviously ways to prove if a girl has actually been raped, but is there a way to prove that a girl got raped 21 years ago? You have to just take her word for it. And she knows that. If any girl from my past wanted to come out and just be like, he raped me at one point, I'd be in prison right now. Just because they can. Because you have to believe all women except the women that Joe Biden molested. You believe every woman except... So maybe Joe Biden needs to hit these girls up and finger blast them and rub foreheads and Eskimo kiss and butterfly kiss their cheeks and buttholes.
Finger blast.
And then they'll be like, no, nothing ever happened. Or at least no one will believe them anymore. They'll be social outcasts. So that's the fucking thing. So maybe if Joe Biden gets elected, nobody will believe women anymore. So I think that should be Joe Biden's slogan. Don't believe women anymore. That should be it. I think that works.
Yeah.
And
that should be a thing, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why not? So what's this say? The Fighter and the Kid, on a June 18th episode, Fighter and the Kid, Callen described D'Elia as a ladies' man whom he'd never seen or heard engaging in illegal activity, and right now I have to believe that because he's still a friend. See, so Callen did have his fucking back, and I love Callen for that. Michael Lenoci, on his podcast, The Takeover, he had Chris D'Elia's back. Chappelle Lacey, he's on the Culture Corner on The King and the Sting with Theo Von and Brendan Schaub. He had D'Elia's back. He didn't just go fucking roll over on your boy, on the fucking cult leader Chris D'Elia. The babies are out there, dude. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? So, Chris, sup? I'm ready to go to that log cabin, boy. Whenever you're down, we'll bump Tupac. I'm not gonna wear fucking Yeezys though. Okay, they're fucking stupid. Kanye West, huh? What's up with that?
He's fucking insane.
What is up with that? There was some more shit that came out about Kanye West's.
Dude, so was it with you that we were listening to a podcast on the way home from work, and they were talking about that video with Kanye and Dave Chappelle?
Oh yeah.
So I watched it, and bro,
is it depressing?
It's completely depressing. It was the weirdest shit I've probably ever seen.
So what does it show? Because I haven't seen it.
It's just like Kanye's pretty much just asking Dave Chappelle, like, hey, just basically saying, like, we need some lightening up over here, bro.
Kanye's the one asking him that?
Yeah. And Dave
I thought it was one of the paparazzi was like, hey, Dave, give me a joke. And Dave was like, oh, come on, man.
He had gone and showed up at Kanye's ranch or something like that to check up on him after all that shit that went down, I think, just to see how he was doing, bro. And Kanye's like, oh, make us laugh, Dave. Like, come on.
So that was Kanye doing that, because I heard it in the clip, and that's fucking weird. I thought it was one of the paparazzi, the way that they were talking about it, making it seem like it was one of the paparazzi, like, come on, Dave, give us a joke. And he was like, come on, man. I just woke up, man.
Yeah, no.
It was Kanye asking him that shit.
Yes.
That's crazy. Well, he's obviously gone off. He has lost his marbles, so to speak. He had lost them. He lost them in a fire, obviously. So a day ago, it says Kim Kardashian is torn about divorcing Kanye amid reports the couple have been living apart for a year. She's torn over ending the marriage with Kanye following their emotional crisis talks at their ranch in Wyoming. Kim and Kanye have been living apart for a year. She's undecided about pulling the plug on their marriage after feeling like she's tried everything to save their 6-year union. Telling Mail Online the reports are absolutely not true. So Kim is denying reports that Kim is denying reports that she's torn over ending her marriage following their crisis talks at the Cody Ranch. Or the ranch in Cody. She isn't getting back what she needs from Kanye. She was to the point that she flew to Cody to basically tell him that their marriage is over and to say goodbye.
Of course.
The musician and fashion designer Kanye is eager to work on their marriage, recently issuing a public apology to her on Twitter after stating during a presidential rally that she contemplated aborting their first daughter, North. I thought that he was saying that I almost killed my daughter. I thought he was the one doing that. He was the one crying, wanting to abort North. Which is still a weird thing. Hey, I'm going to be president. I almost aborted my first kid. What a weird fucking platform to run on. That like, hey, obviously I'm cool with abortion. Well, you're an independent. So I mean, it makes sense. That was a picture of him on the fucking, look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
Kanye lives full-time in Wyoming as it is best for his creativity. Okay, I've been through Wyoming before. Flat. Okay. Fucking the most boring shit ever. No, there's some mountains out there. It's not as flat as Oklahoma. Oklahoma's real shit. But yeah, Kim came out and said Kanye has bipolar disorder. Anyone who has this or a loved one in their life who does know how incredibly complicated and painful it is. Okay, not that complicated. It's episodes of mania, which we've all seen Kanye be manic. Just bouncing off the walls. That Poopditty scoop song. You know what I mean? Poopditty scoop. Loop Poopditty. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You don't know what I'm saying?
No.
You never heard that song?
No, I've not.
There's a song that he literally says Poopditty scoop.
Oh my god.
And that's most of the song.
No, bro.
Yeah, it's for real. I'll show you afterwards. So it's legit. So that's manic. But then bipolar also has the depressive. So he goes into things like this that seem a little PTD-esque.
Yeah. Dude, get the guy on fucking meds, bro.
He went off of his meds.
So fuck.
Obviously. Get him back on. But, you know, don't let him run for president. That's crazy. So, yeah, that's no good. Not gonna do it.
I just thought it was hilarious how he said, Harriet Tubman didn't really free the slaves.
She just gave them. Yeah. She sold them to other white plantation owners. That's so crazy that he's rewriting Black history.
Yeah.
In the video, they were like, you could hear black people after he said that. You could hear him like, okay, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, this just got too crazy. We have to leave now because if someone takes a picture and they see that we're here with this fucking lunatic, they're gonna think that we kind of think the way he thinks, and I'm not cool with that. Which I wouldn't be either.
That's fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, Malik B died. That's terrible. I feel really bad. The Roots are the shit, man. I've listened to them ever since that song, The Seed 2.0, came out. That was a while ago. Is that one that was like, I put the seed up in that one. Yeah. Oh, it's sick. Sick. And obviously, Jimmy Fallon's band is The Roots. Regis Philbin died. Like, everybody's dying right now, and it's not even COVID related, most of this shit. The world's going crazy.
2020, bro.
It's been a real shit show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For us, it hasn't been that bad. I mean, 2020 started out not so bad for you even.
It was pretty shitty, I'm not going to lie.
It didn't start out that bad. As opposed to last year?
Yeah, okay.
You were in jail last year,
Yeah.
rehab last year. You got out of rehab this year. So, not too fucking bad for 2020.
Wait, I got out
This year.
February of 2020.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, beginning of 2020, got out of rehab. You were in rehab beginning of 2020.
Yeah, I just...
So,
yeah.
it's been pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
You've been clean off of drugs this whole time.
True that.
I have also been clean since last year.
Yeah, almost got 9 months. I'll have 9 months this month. Just a big fucking thing.
I think I've got to be at a fucking year. I got to be close. I get the Sublocade injections now. I used to take Suboxone. I swear by it. It saved my fucking life, along with, playing drums, shit like that. Just having a fucking hobby. You know, that's another thing. Just learning to cope with not using drugs to cope with shitty things that happen in life. Just knowing that life sucks balls sometimes. Sometimes it's great, but sometimes it's real bad. And doing drugs never fucking solves it. And that was a thing that took me fucking over a decade to learn that.
Shit, bro. I have my sponsor and shit, and they always say, oh, just call them if you ever need anything or whatever. And I have you too, so it's like,
yeah,
dude, if I ever need anything, I got 2 people I can call that actually know something about me, and it actually fucking helps. So
yeah, we've all gone through our steps. We all know, making amends is a really big deal, because then there's you carry around a lot of shit as a drug addict, and a lot of people don't know that either. I didn't even realize it, because being on drugs, you don't care about anything. And
zero fucks.
That's what the amends is for, is that when you're off of drugs and that flood of emotion hits you, you're supposed to ride the wave of the emotions, not just, you could let it wash over you, but you got to get up and move forward. So riding that wave of the emotions that comes with how much shit you've repressed over however long. I was fighting things for over a decade.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing that always kind of brought me down, was those emotions, because I wouldn't really know how to fucking deal with them. So as soon as I felt them, I'd be like, "Oh, well, it's time to go fucking get high."
You got to do something to just stop that feeling. And I don't know if that's the thing that makes a person an addict or not. I don't know if it's that impulse that as soon as, if that's the thing, that feeling of the emotion bubbling up, if that's the thing that triggers the use, if that's if that's the catalyst for addiction, or if the catalyst for addiction is already there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if drug addicts are born. I think that drug addicts are made. I think that you become a drug addict as soon as you take in the drug and your body goes, that's it. This is what we've been looking for.
Yeah, to me, like I said, I've told you this before, man.
Mm-hmm.
I made a personal choice to do drugs.
Yeah.
And that's why I've made so many great decisions in my life.
See, and there's the other difference, is that some drug addicts make the choice to do it. Some drug addicts are kind of fall into it, or they're like me. I'm the other half of the spectrum. I was given painkillers from a doctor by getting hit by a truck. I was given painkillers.
Yeah, that's a majority of
a large, huge fucking portion. And I know that people have always talked about the pharmaceutical industry is killing so many people, and especially now with fentanyl, because it's being fucking produced, and I don't know how it's still out there, knowing that it kills so many fucking people. But yeah, there's the people that get prescribed something, and then they get taken off of it, and they experience withdrawals, and then they hear, hey, you can just buy that shit off the street, and then you buy it off the street.
Cheaper.
Yeah, you buy it off the street for a while, and then you're like, fuck, man, I have to eat. I was eating 30 10 milligram Norcos at a time. Like, I would take a Cactus Cooler, I'd take those big fucking yellow bitches, throw them all in, chew them up, swallow them. 10 minutes later, I'm like, whoo, flying. Like, you get that, basically a whistle in your brain,
Yeah.
like a train whistle. And then it was snorting, smoking Percocets, and then it was, hey, dude, I owe you $40, but here's some heroin instead. And, I was like, I don't like it at first. And then I was like, just, here, give me 30, I'll give you back the rest of your heroin. I only smoked a little bit. He's like, no, smoke more. All right, I'm not going to like it. And then the heavens opened.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and I was like, fine, I guess I'm a heroin addict now. So I guess it was when I first took the first Vicodin, it was just like, oh my God. Like, it makes my back feel better, plus extra stuff feels good too.
I mean, I guess like a little bit for me did have to do with some peer pressure. I mean, like not really. I mean, people were doing it around me.
You were fucking 12.
Yeah, okay. So it was peer pressure, bro.
It had to have been peer pressure because at 12 years old, you're not making a conscious decision to ruin your fucking life.
No.
You don't. Your I don't remember what it's called. The frontal lobe of your brain isn't fully developed until you're 31. So you're still working on it.
Yeah.
But the meth fucks your brain up. I think that's the worst part, is that people don't even understand what meth's even doing in there. Meth it's forming giant pockets of dopamine in your brain. It's flooding your brain with dopamine and shooting those pockets through the receptors in your brain for the dopamine. So it's blocking the uptake of the dopamine, so it's leaving all this dopamine in your head, and it's just fucking shotgun blasting it out your receptors. So you're turbo, like putting a nitrous tank on your dopamine receptors, and it's gonna fuck up the reuptake. It's gonna fuck up the production of dopamine forever. And who knows what other things, especially things like ecstasy, they've showed the damage that it does to people's brains.
Oh yeah, I've dabbled a lot in that shit too. So
that's the thing. Like, I'd never fucked with that, but I took a lot of Xanax, dude. I took 58 milligrams in one day before, and I almost died. I've taken 20 multiple times. I can't even count how many times I've taken 20 milligrams in a day. And I know other people that did that, and they sound like they were born with Down syndrome now.
Yeah, they're fucking slow as fuck.
Yeah, there's people that I would see in jail, and then I'd see them again a couple months later, and they straight up, they talk like they grew an extra chromosome.
That's like
fucking nuts.
It's like same thing with fucking people who took a lot of ecstasy. Like there's people, their fucking words just kind of like drone on, like
Blazinski.
Yeah, yeah.
Blazinski it's a dude that
and fucking Daniel McLeod, that fool too.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that it shows. Like when you're in jail, you run into a lot of dudes that are toothless. They look like they're 70 and they're my age. They're fucking 30
or fucking mine.
Yeah, or even younger than me.
Yeah.
But they have no teeth in their mouth. And their brains work like, it's basically, I think it's a pretty known thing that when you start using drugs, your emotional development stops. So I didn't start using drugs, like legit drugs, until I was about 19, 20. So I at least got up to 20 years old. You started at 12.
Yeah, I started at 12 and was fully addicted by 14, 15 years old.
So that's crazy. Like, it would be crazy to see, like, if they would have tested your brain before this, just at that age, just to see exactly what development happens after 12, 13, 14. What is the development that's happening right there that you're putting a stop to, or you're impeding in some way, or you're redirecting it? Maybe it changed it and pushed the development to something else. Maybe it developed it in a different direction. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. People don't think about all of the extra shit that comes along with being addicted to drugs, and then to get out of it and then look back with clarity is the craziest part. And that's where that flood we were talking about, that's where that flood of emotions comes in. I've had countless nervous breakdowns, basically just sobbing like a fucking lunatic.
I have them damn near every day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get them every day, but I mean, you still have shit going on. Yeah. I don't know, we don't have to get into it right now, but you do have some shit going on that I'd probably be losing it as well. So you gotta stay strong. You gotta the best revenge is success.
Yup.
The fucking best revenge is success. You have a good job with me. We're fucking kicking ass. And it's always a good idea because, I mean, I liked when I heard someone at rehab say, you gotta choose to quit every day.
Yeah.
And that sounds bad if you just say that to somebody. Like if you just walk up to some kid on the street, like, "Hey kid, remember, choose to quit every day."
Yeah.
He's gonna be a piece of shit when he gets older. But in the context of being a drug
that
addict,
does sound fucking horrible.
Yeah, you gotta choose every day to not use. You gotta wake up in the morning and be like, "I can do this." Just get through. Even go if it's that bad, get minute to minute, hour to hour, something like. If I could just make it to 5 o'clock today and not use drugs.
Yeah, so it's like what my sponsor always tells me. He's like, dude, this is never, like, realistically, this is never going to go away, bro, because this is something we'll be fucking battling with for legit till the day you die. And that's going to, I mean.
Yeah, because relapse can happen at any time. And it's shitty. I went through it so many times, and I know you did.
Yeah.
We've both let people down on so many separate occasions, like reconnecting with old friends who partially turned their backs, which you can't blame them a lot for.
Yeah.
But the weird thing, you didn't really have too many friends that were outside of the drug community. That was the problem. You came here and like pretty much mingled yourself right into the drug community. So it was tougher for you to get out of it than it was for me. But all my friends not being in the drug community, they had a much easier time turning their back. And that fucking hurts too. And that's why I couldn't do it to you. I can't do it to Jeremy. Even no matter how I feel about it, obviously I'm not a big fan of the fact of what he did.
Yeah.
Being dishonest with me, I still love him, and I can't fault him for that because I've been that guy too many times.
Well, see, that's again another thing as well, like, because I'm getting ready to start sponsoring people. I can start sponsoring people anytime now, and my sponsor tells me all the time, he's like, I have a sponsee that just relapsed, dude, after having 3 years clean, bro. And he lied to me, and I let him stay with me, and he fucking bullshitted me. But I'm not going to give up on him, dude. That's that's probably the worst thing you can do for an addict is giving up on them, because then they just start losing hope on themselves.
Well, yeah, then they're dead. They're fucking dead. If you're especially if you're like one of the last people that still has any kind of faith in them or shows them any kind of respect or love, and you're just like, you're fucking hopeless. No one's hopeless.
No.
I've said that people are, and I feel bad, but it's like, but if it really has to be that you're ready to be done.
Yeah. You
can't force anybody to fucking quit. They gotta be that type of person, because there's a lot of addicts. There's the addict that's always, he's always saving up Suboxone and Xanax, and he's always about to go to rehab. Every time you run into him to buy drugs off of him, he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm about to go to rehab next week."
Yeah.
And months later, you still see him walking around the street doing the same shit.
Just bought subs yesterday, bro. So
yeah, I got fucking like 20 of them, so I'll be good. And never see them go. They never look better. They look skinnier every time you see them. It's just, it makes it harder to have any kind of hope for the future for those types, because then it's like basically pigeonholing that entire group of people. So it's shit, it's been almost an hour. We almost tackled an hour here, guys. I don't even think I have to cut this one up.
Nope.
I could pretty much render.
You want to know what happened before we got before you had to open the door and you had to stop it for a second?
Yeah.
I remember what it was.
What was it?
I was asking you about that dude who was shitting outside of his car.
Oh my god. So we'll end with this. Me, my wife, and my 2-year-old son, he just turned 2 last week. So we were driving to Vegas from Lake Havasu, go through the back way through Kingman, up past like Golden Valley. So we're up there quite a ways. We're like within 20 miles of the Hoover Dam. And on the shoulder of the road, there's this red SUV parked there, and there's this guy with his arm on his arm across the window and his head leaning on his forearm like a kid on his desk, you know. And his pants, I see from a pretty good ways away, his pants were just like pulled down in the back, so just his ass was hanging out, like his balls and everything were covered, and his shirt was pulled up, so it was just like a foot of ass showing. And then as we get closer, I'm like, is that dude's pants down? And then you just see a fat fucking log of shit come out of this dude's ass by like 4 inches and then break from the weight, and gravity took care of the rest. He had to have been shitting all over the back of his pants, his feet. I don't know if he cared what was even going on with this guy. It was fucking insane. But luckily he's only 2, so he didn't like witness that, like, hey, that's a thing that people could do. I don't have to worry about, toilets.
He's like,
I could
that dude's not wearing a diaper. What
yeah,
the fuck?
I could just stand there and shit like a fucking elephant in a parade, Like, so yeah, that was a pretty cool beginning. And we were following, like, my wife's little sisters were in the vehicle, like, a couple minutes in front of us. So we asked them if they saw it. They had not seen it, luckily. They were paying attention to other things, I just don't know. Like, I was trying to think of what could have been that dude's problem that he's shitting fat, like very fibrous logs. Like he metamuscles it up every day, and he eats like loaves of bread.
Yeah.
Because usually if it's an emergency, it's liquid, right? Have you ever had an emergency that was just solid as fuck?
No.
So what's up? You know what I mean? What does he have going on? What's his secret? I'm almost jealous.
That's fucking hilarious.
That was a sturdy dump. You know what I mean? That guy had an impressive bowel movement. So, all right. Well, we're fucking done here, dude. So, that's what is up. Still fucking up. We're out of here, dude.
Later.